First up, at UFC 293, we've got Kevin Jousset taking on Kiefer Crosbie. Kevin Jousset is 8-2 overall, 4-1 in his last 5. He is making his UFC debut, and he's taking on Kiefer Crosbie. This guy's 10-3 overall, 3-2 in his last 5, and he is riding a nice 2-fight win streak. This is a fight that honestly should have been in the last card. UFC Paris was loaded with French debut fighters taking on overrated.
Oh, he fights out of Australia. Relax.
Yeah, relax. Thanks for letting me finish. Taking on overrated Irishmen. And what did we say last card? All these Irish guys are a little overrated. For some reason, the Irish fighters get like a ton of too much support. They both lost.
Connor just got his black belt. Did you see that?
Oh, I'm sure. And has he
Go
ever?
ahead, say it. Go ahead,
like,
say it.
What a scam that is. What a scam
He's
that
always
is.
grappling on the gram.
Yeah, what a scam
Grappling
that is.
with that
Just,
fucking drug addiction.
grappling his demons. I haven't seen him
He's
win
got
one
a
of those
vice
yet.
grip on those vices, I'll tell you that. Holy shit.
With 0 wins. Anyway, Kevin Jousset is a stocky. He fights like all the Frenchmen. I was actually talking to somebody this past weekend, and I was like, all of these French guys fight the same. And he was like, yeah, that's the savant style. Oh. And this guy fights just like the rest of them. He's a stocky striker. He's going to work his way forward very slowly. He does have low hands, and he does have low volume. When he finally does close the distance, he's going to like to work you against the cage. Again, keep that pace slow and work in some takedowns. He is insanely patient. Everything he does is just methodical, takes his time. He's not an exciting guy, unfortunately. His takedowns are slow. Striking is slow, but he is big for the weight class. He's very strong, and he knows how to use that size advantage. He's taking on Kiefer Crosbie. This guy's an aggressive striker. He comes forward. He lets his hands go. Unlike Kevin, it's reckless abandon out there. He's got great power. He does get wild. And considering he does have a lot of striking experience outside of MMA, his defense is actually pretty disappointing. His offense is definitely something you need to worry about, but you can touch him if you need to. He is not a grappler by trade, but he will work in a takedown or two if he needs to sort of lock in around. Kevin should probably be the pick here. He's going to be big. He's going to be strong. He can slow the pace, take his time, do all the things. He's not going to put himself into harm's way, but it is so hard to pick such a low volume guy. He does get hit. He doesn't do much other than just try to be a weight bully. If you're new to MMA, you don't really know what that means is. He just wants to be bigger than you. Like, his whole fight style is being bigger than his opponent, just push them and slow it down and all of that. Either way, I don't want to pick Kevin, but I'm going to pick Kiefer here. The reality is he probably loses, but I like the fact that he is going to come out. He is going to throw his hands. He is going to try to get this done. He's going to stay in Kevin's face, and Kevin does get hit. His defense is also not great. So we got first round Kiefer or decision Kevin is basically the only two ways that this fight goes. I'm going to lean first round Kiefer. I think he'll come out. I think he'll be insanely aggressive as we've seen him in the past and could potentially get something done because Kevin keeps his hands a little too low. What are you laughing at and what do you think?
I was laughing at when you were talking about being a weight bully, and I was trying to I held myself back from
I'm obese. Yeah, thank you so much for that.
And running out the MMAs in the hazy. Wah.
Keep going. I'm already annoyed about the obese comment
that I made about myself. Say hi to him? Or?
Hey, guys. How you doing? I just plugged all their shit and said use their promo code.
Nice. Yeah, so when I first started watching film on these guys, I started with Kevin. And 30 seconds, I think, into the first fight that I watched for Kevin, I was like, holy shit, I am fading this guy just from the way that he stands. Because as you mentioned, he does have a hands-low style. And it's not like a wide karate style, but he just seems so unathletic. And I was going to say, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but that is that is pretty disrespectful. So he just looks so stiff and so unathletic in the way he stands. I'm like, if this guy that he's fighting can strike at all, I'm going to be all over him. And then Kiefer just had a boxing match literally like a month ago. He is a very, very good striker. But then I started watching Kevin more, and I'm like, okay, this guy actually kind of knows what he's doing in there. I mean, the way that he stands, you guys are going to see it. You're going to be like, oh, this guy's going to get knocked out. But then when you see the footwork and you see the way that he can get the clinch, and his judo is really, really high level, that if Kiefer blitzes into those clinch positions, he will just go for a fucking ride on those little tosses that he has. And he's pretty good on the ground once he gets you on the ground. So, I am going to go with Kiefer. Because, as you said, Kevin is hittable. I think Kiefer comes through, it just pushes that pressure and lands that shot. But if this gets out of the first round, I have lost all interest in Kiefer. I haven't bet him, right? I don't feel that good about him. As you mentioned, he definitely can lose this fight. But I think, as you said, he's going to get in there, find something early, and maybe put this guy away. But, Kevin's better than he's going to look in there is what I would say.
Yeah, and we have no data here, so I show this slide. It's pretty meaningless. But, yeah, Kevin is he just knows how to be big. There's so many fights where he's losing the early exchanges. He's losing a lot of that back and forth, and then he just gets close, pushes you, holds you, slows the pace, keeps you against the cage, and all of a sudden being fast and hitting hard means nothing because giant 6'2" at welterweight Kevin is able to slow that down and do what he wants to do. And he doesn't really fade. And he's not like a gangly, lanky, I don't know how he's a 170. He's like big everywhere.
We had a friend in high school, one of my good friends in high school. His name was Kevin. We called him Big K. And his brother was Big E.
We had a kid in Kevin. He was Special K. It wasn't the full size bust that he took to school. It was the smaller of the two.
Oh, boy.
The two bus options. Anyway, DraftKings-wise, I don't think I'm going to spend... Well, I'm definitely not going to spend the $8,400 on Kevin. The only problem with saying that is Kiefer can get stopped. He gets a little too reckless, overcommits, slows down. He can get stopped. So this could be a really weird fight where it's boring and it's slow and Kevin does what he does and, slows his pace down and wins a decision. Or Kiefer could take his head off, or Kevin could weather the early storm, wear down Kiefer, and stop him. So I don't think I'm going to spend the $8,400 on Kevin. I'll consider the $7,800 on Kiefer. That feels like more of a punt play for a large DraftKings tournament, but it's a tricky fight. What do you think for DraftKings?
Do you think that you could beat those kids in a punt, pass, and kick contest, like the 10 and 12-year-olds and stuff that do it? You ever see those?
I would say yes, except Sunday we had a party at the house. We had a bunch of neighbors over, and Bo, big-ass 6'7", country boy, high school football coach Bo was here with his kid, and he's in all the vlogs if you haven't.
He played college football, let's not forget.
Played D1 college
Could have went pro, but he talked it over with his family, and,
He decided not to. But anyway, he was here with his kid. His kid is 5. But
taller than me.
Basically
taller than me.
Basically grew up in the front yard, just playing catch, doing whatever. That kid was ripping full. And my yard's big for Texas.
Oh wow, yeah. Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's hard work, and you know what it is. So many people care more about getting what they want and not how to get it. You got to get in the right line. And really
I think I saw a quote of that today.
What was it? You really need the graphic to emphasize. Anyway, the point is,
it's a line of people, and it's the line for hungry to win. It packed, right? Because everyone's hungry to win, right? Everyone's ready. They want to win. Everyone wants to win, right? And then the other line, there's nobody in front of it, and it says hungry to do what winning requires. Yeah, that's a lot of hard work. That's a lot of dedication. I think me and you have put forth that effort.
It's custom graphics. It's all the things. Anyway, point being, I went the short line. I went to the short line, put in the hard work. I have a nice yard. This kid, 5 years old, throwing perfect spirals across the entire yard, and not horizontal, diagonal. Bo was on the side or the patio, and his kid was in the corner. Perfect spirals. It was wild. So your question that started this, could you beat the 10? No. Not if those are the 10-year-olds. That kid in 5 years? No.
I've already told you this story, but there was a guy that when I was probably 6 through 12 years old, a guy lived across the street from us, unbeknownst to me, turns out was a Oh my God! You just lagged out like crazy? Did your computer shut off? Are you there?
Nope. The stupid Tiffany. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Tiffany knows I'm streaming and called anyway. It's having a family.
But anyway, the guy across the street, every time I was out just kind of tossing a ball, because I would always, my favorite thing to do was punt a ball in the air and then pretend I'm Deion Sanders and catch it, like return it. And he would always come out and be like, hey, Jay. His name was Gino, which one of the fucking, anybody named Gino is a fucking certified weirdo. And he'd be like, hey, Jacob, you want to teach me how to throw a spiral? You want to teach me how to throw a spiral? Oh, I forgot about Gino from BetOpenly.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, my bad, Gino.
Yeah,
my bad, Gino. He's cool. He's cool. I think he was Gino BetOpenly is Gino. I think this guy was an E, so I think it's a little bit different.
Geno is bizarre. Why is my camera so dark? I got the freaking.
I know. It looked like your power went out when your lights went out when.
No, it's like my camera's like compensating oddly. There we go. Anyway.
20 minutes of fight. We're on a good pace here.
I know. Anyway, become a premium member. It's $10 a month. WeWantPicks.com. You'll unlock everything you have ever needed in the history of time. We have a $1 super chat from Gold Coast Kombucha. Thank you very much. I'm sure your kombucha is delicious. Most aren't, but yours probably is. Thank you so much for the $1 super chat. Then we have... Wait, is this the original? What time is it? Brian sent 100. Oh, I missed that. Oh, Jesus, I'm going backwards. There we go. Okay, got it.